Hey everyone, Heather Boyd here. Yesterday I had the pleasure of visiting the studio of Akeem Kidder in Ottawa and picked up this beautiful yarn art piece. Now he is known as the Yarn Art Guy on Instagram. I'm going to link up his Instagram in the description below the video, and he also compiled this very fun book called Dad Jokes that's available on Amazon, so I'll link that up as well. And without further ado, here is a little clip from our visit yesterday. We are here in Ottawa with the Yarn Guy. We came here to check out his work. You definitely have to check him out on Instagram. Very, very unique work made out of yarn and canvas, and I'm gonna flip in a bunch of photos of his work and also link up his Instagram and stuff. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
For sure. So I am the Yarn Art Guy, and it's in the name. I make art by using hot glue and yarning it to the canvas. I call it yarn painting. So this is what I do. I just use a hot glue gun. I trace out my piece and then I just kind of glue and then stick the yarn onto it. So
wow.
Yeah, I call it yarn painting. Not many people do it. I'm trying to get people into it. That's kind of one of my main goals, is kind of to be like finding that creativity is in everybody.
Yes.
It's like what works for you, you know? Like you're saying you worked with wire.
Wire, yeah.
I like to just say, you know, there's something that you like to do.
Yes.
You know, we just need to be creating, whether it's writing,
yes,
you know, performing of some sort.
Yeah.
We all need, you know, a healthy activity, a mind activity, and just something to create. So
exactly.
That's kind of my mission, my goal, and I have this dying urge to be special, to be unique.
Yes.
So like I got into yarn because I didn't think anyone was, you know, doing it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find my community here and there. So
yeah,
follow along on Instagram is where I'm mostly. And
that's awesome. No, I love it. That really is what stood out about you when I read that you're interested in doing art but wanting to do something different, because it's true. There's so many people doing painting and even fiber arts and things like that.
Exactly.
So it's nice to have found something a little bit different. And of course this appeals to me because I work with wire and it reminds me of wire, and I'm trained as a graphic artist, so it's very graphic, very line drawing type of thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of paint by numbers.
Yes, especially this piece. Especially this piece. And something I learned with that was during my portrait series.
Yes.
I hated drawing or painting faces.
Right.
But
right.
one day I wanted to make a gift for my sister. This is how it started.
Okay, cool.
And she loves Biggie. So I was like, okay, let me make Biggie.
Yeah.
And I kind of found a painting that was broken apart, like paint by numbers.
Yes.
And I was like, I'll just do that, but with yarn.
Amazing.
And then I did it and I stepped back. And I was like, this is
Oh
actually really good. I can't just give it away as a gift,
oh
you know?
My goodness.
So I kept that in my stash and I made her
Yeah.
a Frank Ocean one.
Okay, cool.
So that I don't have a connection with Frank Ocean as much as like a Biggie or somebody. So I gave her that, she loved it, and that kind of set me on a trajectory of making the faces.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I'm more known for now, selling my prints of those, the portraits of those, but I'm hoping to do in the coming time more series.
Yes.
So I could do different things like landscapes or something. Just challenge myself and play around.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that you made prints out of them, because a lot of people just simply can't afford original art, but it's a nice way to have a kind of a souvenir and support the artist and all that type of thing. And this I could totally see as sort of a kit type of thing.
Yeah,
and it's really, I mean, the sky is the limit for what sort of types of products that you can create based on this type of work.
And what I'm loving is that like more people are understanding like the amount of time it takes.
Yes.
Like, because a lot of people have experience of like the rug makers or like even people who do like kind of crocheting.
Yes.
That crocheting is a little longer, but like the rug maker, they could do it in 1 or 2 hours. But like something like this is going to take me
days. Do you know how many hours?
I don't know. I would assume.
Really
so this is something I'm just working on for myself.
Okay, cool.
If you were to order a custom, I would have to estimate how many hours based off the size and detail. We work together. Can I paint the background? So that saves time.
Yeah.
So like that estimate, but like this one, I'll estimate just knowing that I'm maybe halfway done, and I'll put in maybe 15 hours at least right now. It's 30 plus hours.
Yes. Yeah.
I think is reasonable.
Yeah.
So it's something to enjoy. Yeah, going back to like knitters and crocheters, this is something that appeals to them too. So that's kind of the community I'm trying to build, the best people in the world, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, well, I
So,
definitely
it's fun
remember
time.
as a kid doing a lot of rug hooking back in the 70s. That was the popular thing to do, you know, with the little strands of wool that were this size, and you'd have a hook and you'd go in and hook it out like that. And we had a couple of them at the cottage that we finally parted with that were in the basement. But the hours, yes, the hours, but very meditative and fun to do type of thing.
But that's why I like being able to offer the prints, because
it's amazing.
the high quality, you know, you look at them and you're like, oh, is that a painting? You get closer, you're like, okay, it's something else. And then you touch it, you're like, okay, what is this? And then as the owner, is a conversation starter, because you're like, oh yeah, the yarn art guy, he actually glued that on.
Exactly.
Oh, it's yarn. Oh, I see it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's I like interacting with people that, you know, like what I'm doing. So
well, I really wanted to come and actually get an original piece, but because there's nothing like original art. You know, I don't have much wall space left, but I have a lot of small works that I collect, and from a huge range of artists. I have some from some pretty well-known artists in Toronto, and then some other ones that just people I meet at craft shows, and it's just so, there's something about it that just, it's, to me, they're my most valued possessions, are the artwork that I've collected over the years from people.
And what I'm happy to say is that like a lion, let's say I sell this piece and somebody wants a lion. Even if I make this exact same drawing, there's no way I make this exact same piece, because the way I lined up the yarn here versus how here, like the colors how I'm using here is all about not getting the dark greens too close to each other. Maybe next time I make it, it's a little bit different. So there's no way, even if I make the exact same picture,
it's true,
I can never make the same piece.
It's true. So and the texture is so cool. We're going to just come up a little closer on there, and it's interesting how you follow. It almost looks like a topographical map with all the little areas in there. And I actually do something with wire called chaos wrap, which is where you take the wire and you fill in, or you just kind of twist it around and you fill in areas. Usually people do like beads or just like abstract type things with it, but like yesterday, for example, I did a live stream and I was making a snowman, so I wanted wire. It's hard to make it massive, so you do like the shape with the wire, and then you fill in like with little spirals, which are called these chaos wrap. They started calling them Heather spirals because I do them all the time. But it just like is a way to fill in a space with solid colors. So that's what you're doing here. Can you show us like how you glue it on without burning your fingers?
No promises on that one. That's kind of the love of the game at this point. But one of the reasons I like this piece, and I still, though this is one of those pieces that I've been working on for like years, you know, I work on other things and then come back to this one. I like to bring this one to shows or places I see people, so people can say, okay, there's actually a difference, because once it's flat, you're gonna see the texture, but only once you get close.
Interesting.
When you're far from this one, you're like, okay, what's happening? So it's really like, you see, I really go strand by strand, so you can see how long it takes. But I just come in with the hot glue gun. To the best of my abilities, try to avoid those strands. You know.
Is that a low temperature or it's like a medium maybe?
20 watt. It's just like a dollar store one.
Oh, I was going to say, because some of the dollar store ones,
as long as it lasts, you know.
Yeah, some of them dry like way too fast.
Yeah, no, this one has been my handy dandy for a good amount of time now.
That's amazing.
So anytime I can fold in and kind of get two pieces down at the same time, I'll try.
And how it just really when you cut it straight, it doesn't fray. It's all right.
So sometimes it does a lot. Sometimes I'll have to come in cleaner.
Push it in a bit.
Now that I'm on camera, I'm a little shaky when I do it, but I'm kind of clean, push in. The glue is still there and wet. You know, kind of use the scissors as a tool as well. So
it's almost like sculpting.
Exactly. That was a little tidbit about me was I was never a good drawer. Everyone like, I got through art class because it was like painting or like something else, like things like that. Sculpting I was always good at. I was never good at drawing. So it's always fun to find a new medium where like I feel like I'm really getting a hang of this, but don't ask me to draw something freehand, because that's one of those things where it's you don't need to excel at every part of art to be artistic, you know. So that's what I love to do this. I found the thing that works for me.
That works for you. I mean, the majority of the time is spent filling it in rather than the actual drawing.
Exactly. Now, even better, just to save time, I have a projector.
Nice, amazing.
So usually that's how it works. If someone wants a piece, they'll send me a picture. I'll kind of artify it in like a
Yeah.
Illustrator or something.
That's it.
Project it and sketch it out.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because
you
this
have
already
to-
takes so much time. I don't need to waste time
Well, yeah.
drawing it out. That's what I used to do in the beginning because I used to
Yes.
do a lot of cartoons. I'm a big
Yeah.
Disney guy.
Okay, cool.
So you know, like my Monsters Inc. piece,
Yes.
like one of my earlier favorite pieces.
Nice.
I have a Rafiki piece because he's one of my favorites as well.
Cool.
So those I used to draw freehand, and it takes though it's
so-
cartoons, it takes
Yeah.
still an hour or so. And
Well, same for me. Like, even though I've been drawing for 30 years, I still, for proportions wise, sometimes
Yeah.
it's easier just to kind of trace a basic photo or a pattern or type of thing, and then fill it in, like you say, artify it in your I
Just
love that,
artsy it,
in
yeah.
your own way.
yeah,
Exactly.
well, like imagine my portrait series. My eyes would have been
Oh my gosh.
all over the place if it
yeah.
wasn't for the projector. So
That's it, and it's not gonna look as realistic if you try to do it yourself. Like I'm
Exactly.
not great at faces either.
Exactly.
Like I would do the same thing.
Mhm.
But
So-
I really like that style of paint. I have a friend, her name is Susan Porter. She paints portraits. I love paint pet portraits and flowers, but she does the same, not wool, but she does acrylics. So she'll do the
Okay.
same idea where I don't know if she uses a projector or she does it by eye, but she'll break down an image into sections.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was thinking there must be an app to do that.
I'm sure there is nowadays
Yeah,
for sure.
I
for
kept
sure.
meaning because I want to do one of those acrylic type pieces, and
Yeah.
I thought I'm just going to find an app
Yeah.
and figure it out how to break it down
Yeah.
with the. I mean, you could do it also by. They say if you like blur your eye, you can see it better.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the little shapes.
That's
and
kind of
stuff.
what I did too. Like I would
Yeah.
just kind of blur and
Yeah.
know like there's like okay, I see 3 different types of green. Okay,
Yes.
let me line
Yes.
up my yarn for the similar kind of levels of green. So,
Exactly.
yes, that's part of it
Exactly.
for sure.
So this one you're not going by a picture. I guess at this point you worked
Uh,
on it for so
well,
long that.
Well, yeah, putting the
Yeah.
art down. This is actually one of those kind of I don't want to say basic to insult whoever made this original line, but
Yeah.
this is a line that you'll see. There's a lot of posters of
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Like it's
yes.
a common one,
image,
but it's just
yeah.
a lion's face.
Yeah. Cool.
And in saying that, oh, it's so basic, it's so generic. I wanted
yeah.
one that is like, yes, it's the generic thing,
Yeah.
but no one could say that this
You're
one
doing your
is
own
that. So
thing.
kind of
Yeah.
that's the fun of it.
I love the eyes too, with
Yeah.
the little, just that little,
Yeah.
the little point with the reflection. It
Yeah.
makes all the difference.
That's
to
the
bring
key.
It to life.
The key for anything with eyes is to start with the eyes.
Yeah.
Because you could tell, like, same thing with my portraits.
Yeah.
Once I finished the eyes, I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
either captured
Okay.
who they are or I
Okay.
didn't.
Yes.
And I have to restart.
Oh.
And speaking of
so you're
restarting,
better to start with that. Yeah.
with yarn, restarting is a surgical procedure
Okay.
because it's hot glued on, so I have to like
Clip
really
it off.
rip it off.
Oh man.
So it's something I try to avoid.
Wow.
Put it that way.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of
and
course.
can you tell everybody where they can find you online?
Yeah, right now it's Instagram, Yarn Art Guy on Instagram. But keep an eye out. I'll have my website up this year, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of shows, Montreal, Ottawa, and hopefully further than that. So,
Amazing. Well, thank you very much. So
Thank you.
let's just smile for a thumbnail.